Hello everyone, Bandit here from Big Boy Gaming, and welcome to our next installment of How to Make Gold in Battle for Azeroth. Today we will be covering how to make profits with Herbalism. We all know that mats are worth a hell of a lot less than they were just a few weeks ago, especially herbs. Anchorweed in particular was up to 200 to 300 gold a piece. Now it's down to 70 to 90 gold depending on your server and when you sell it. So stay tuned, I will cover my best tips on how to make Herbalism profitable for you, as well as how alchemy can help or hurt your profits. Here we go. Okay, so on our skinning video, we had a few comments about Herbalism being a little bit more profitable than skinning, so I figure we would do our next video on Herbalism. Now, the first step in knowing how to make gold with Herbalism is knowing your market. So take a few minutes to go to your auction house and see what each herb is actually selling for on your server. If you're going to follow along while you're playing, go ahead and pause the video here and head over to the auction house and look your herbs up. Now, one thing to pay attention is going to be what days you're going to make the better profits on your server. So on my server, we typically see better profits on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays above the other days of the week. Now, this is due to groups either raiding right as the reset happens or on the weekend when they're off work. You may see on our server the top 3 herbs to sell are Siren's Pollen, Acunda's Bite, and Anchorweed. The Acunda's Bite and Siren's Pollen are going to sell between 9 to 20 gold each depending on what day of the week it is. And Anchorweed is currently in the 70 gold range. It's gotten as high as 85 in this last week, but those are going to be the 3 herbs that we're going to prioritize. Always check the price of your herbs before you decide to farm. That way, if one herb is selling higher than normal, or in our case that we want to be wary of, which is lower than normal, you know that before you decide to waste time farming. Now, this preparation is going to lead right into our next step, which is plan your route. There are many sites out there that are going to recommend some routes for you based on the herb in the area that you're wanting to farm, so make sure you check that out prior to going out. The second part of step 2 is making sure that you have the right items with you to be able to farm efficiently. Ideally, you're going to want a Sky Golem. If you don't have the 50 to 60,000 gold to buy one, you can go a cheaper route and get the hardened stirrups. Those are going to allow you to interact while mounting for up to 2 hours if you're not a blacksmith. The second item that you're going to need is, if you are not a tank, you will need leather barding. This is going to stop you from being dazed while mounted for 2 hours. Ideally, you're going to be running around. You're not going to be clearing the NPCs out in the world. You're just going to run around and pick some flowers. So the less they can slow you down, the better. The third item you're going to need regardless of the first 2, and that's going to be the hardened hoof plates. Those are going to increase your mounted speed by about 20% for up to 2 hours if you're not a blacksmith. And the reason that's ideal is if you're out farming against other people, because there's going to be other people out farming. It's going to give you a little bit of a faster speed in case they are not smart enough to get those items. So for this video, I went ahead and bought a Sky Golem, as many of you see I'm running around in now, and I'm also leveling my Herbalism while I'm farming. All in all, I farmed the routes for Siren's Pollen, Riverbud, Winter's Kiss, Acunda's Bite for about 2 to 3 hours each once I got to max level. The amount of herbs and the gold you're going to make are really dependent on how many others are farming the area where you are. So if an area is over farmed, make sure you move on to the next area instead of trying to compete. If you do this and you can get to a low populated area, you should expect to make between 8 to 15,000 gold an hour as long as your Herbalism skills are all rank 3. Now, in my opinion, if your server economy matches mine, which I'm on Sargeras, I would prioritize Acunda's Bite and Vol'dun. And then if those routes are overcrowded because there's 2 of them, then I would go to Dressvar and farm Winter's Kiss in the snowy areas. And the reason that should be your backup is because even though Winter's Kiss is one of the least expensive herbs, you're going to get more Anchorweed in that area than you will the other areas. Plus, it is a super small, fast route with fast respawns. With both routes for the Akuna's Bite or the Winter's Kiss and Dressvar, you will get a variety of other herbs along your way. I would not avoid those. Still pick them up because that's going to be some bonus gold in your pocket. Now on to step 3. This is where you're going to need to do some math. If you have an alchemist or a friend that is an alchemist with rank 3, it's where you can proc additional potions and flasks, you need to look at the mats needed to craft said potions and flasks. Compare that to the sales price on the auction house and see if it's more profitable to craft the items or to sell the herbs raw. Now on my server, 95% of the time, unless you can get above a 20% proc rate with the potions or flasks, you will make more gold just selling the herbs directly onto the auction house. If you're super lucky, it's up to you to decide if you want to gamble or not on if you're going to make additional money by getting an alchemist involved. Personally, I don't, because I don't have the best RNG luck, so 9 out of 10 times I usually make less money when I try to convert them into potions and flasks. But guys, it's short, it's simple, it's easy to make money with herbalism. You just have to get out there, get into the right route, and invest a little bit of time while you're out there. So if this guide has helped you make a little bit of gold, make sure you throw a comment below and let us know. Also, we have some other guides out as well on how to make gold with skinning and leatherworking, as well as the top raids to farm right now. If you'd like to get notified when we come out with more videos, please make sure you drop us a subscribe as well. It will notify you every time we come out with a new video. Once again, guys, thanks for watching and good luck in your farming.